Welcome to Podadelphia. My name is Dave DiOrio. You can find me on Twitter at @fat_lobster. And I'm joined by Chris Bryant and Kyle Schwarber. What's up, guys? Where are you signing? Oh. Hello, Gene, in your fancy studio apartment there.
This is my new background.
I like it. Are you gonna tickle
living
the
at the
ivories?
rich guy lifestyle. As you can see by the grand piano over here.
Yeah, I like it. You gonna play us a little sonata maybe later on?
I'm probably gonna turn this off because it's making me go all fuzzy. But if I don't know if I'm Chris Bryant or Kyle Schwarber, but whichever one I am, I'm signing with the Phillies.
Yeah. Well, then I think for this exercise, you would be Chris Bryant. So, what's up, Nico? How are you, man?
Yo, what's up, guys?
As always, with the technical difficulties with this show, we just can't keep it stable.
You guys have to tie up those loose ends, those loose wires. Do you know what? This is the second time in the last. I don't know. It didn't happen in the last episode a couple weeks ago, but a couple weeks before that. Yeah. Maybe it's the curse of the Gene. Anytime I appear with Gene, the minute that the episode starts, I immediately get and then I'm like, all right, I'm out of here.
This show is as technically stable as a Phillies bullpen.
Hey, listen.
Let's get ourselves a hand then.
Well, baseball's back, so that's the big news. This is the first show we've had since we learned that baseball is officially coming back for a full 162 game season. We couldn't be happier. I know that there's a lot of big stories going on right now with the Sixers and March Madness and everything, but we're just so excited about baseball. I think we're just going to spend some time talking about baseball. What do you think?
I'm all for it.
So we got the 162 game season coming back. Well, Gene, what we got any rule changes? What's going on?
Well, it's sort of like there's some rule revisions or rule return to normals. Mm-hmm. It sounds like they're going to do double headers, but there'll be 9-inning double headers.
Right, which I like. I'm back. I'm down with the 9-inning double headers. I like that. Well, you know what I liked though. You know what I liked about the double header was they got away from the day-night double header.
Yeah.
And you just got one ticket, 2 game.
Right.
Double headers. I want more of those. Versus the
they were doing those for the 7-inning ones, but.
Right? But they used to do them for the 9. I remember it used to get 2 for 1, but now they do it the early. They clear out the whole park, and then you got to get another ticket and come in at night. So do we know?
And I've done a couple of those, and those can be real marathons.
Is that the twilight doubleheader?
What's that?
Were those referred to as the twilight doubleheaders?
I believe that's what they're called. Yeah. But I haven't done one of those in a while. The last one I did, I think, was against the Mets. And we lost both games, so it was brutal. The other thing I remember seeing... Go ahead.
Hold on. What's that, Nico?
No, I just want to say, can we address the elephant in the room with changing the double headers back to the original? Are they going to stop serving beer after the 7th of the first game, give everybody a little bit of a break before they start the next game, or are they just going to go straight through? Hence, bringing back, Gene, your marathon comment.
And listen, man, if they let you have one ticket and see both games, they got to let you drink straight through.
That's my feeling.
Too. Yeah.
If you've got that kind of rich guy money that you can drink straight through at $12 a beer.
Well, listen.
Put $100 bills on your hot dogs, man.
That's what I'm saying.
So a double header, dollar dog double header. Now there's an idea for you.
Nothing's worse than a double header that goes into extras.
Speaking of extras, they keep talking about this Ghost Runner situation. Am I gonna be able to be like Ghost Runner on second, Ghost Runner on third? I'm gonna hit them both in. They don't have to touch the plate, obviously, if they're Ghost Runners, because they don't exist.
So, all right. So this came up in our chat today. Ghost Runner extra innings rule right now is officially done. However, there's conversations about bringing Ghost Runner extra inning rules back. Now, Nico, as a child, what is the definition of Ghost Runner?
Did
you play with Ghost Runners when you were a kid?
I never, ever
played
with a Ghost Runner. Never played with Ghost Runner.
So we would play baseball like one-on-one baseball.
Yeah,
Like,
that's the thing. Is like
you
I
would
spent
pitch
my
to
entire
me,
youth
I'd be
in
on
my
offense.
grandmother's backyard. If
I hit
my
a
cousin
double
and my brother, just the three of us, one of us would be all-time pitcher. The other two would be the other two teams, and you would just have ghost runners.
Yeah, so if I hit a double, boom, okay, ghost runner's on second, and now I'm still up to bat because there's no other players.
Right, because I'm the only guy batting. But I would change my stance every time. So I'd go Mark McGuire into Sammy Sosa.
That's why you weren't
Fred
good in
McGriff,
Little League.
Into Chris Sabo.
That affected your Little League abilities.
Yes. Well,
I think.
The only way I got on base in Little League was to lean into the pitch. I had the whole Chase Utley mentality before I even knew who Chase Utley was.
But the whole point of my conversation is that when you say ghost runner, you're representing a physical person who cannot be there.
Right.
So when we say ghost runner rule, it's really not a ghost runner because there is an actual person standing there.
Right.
So if you want to define it as like, well, we don't know how they got there, I'm going to adopt the term sprout runner because he sprouted up at second base and now he's there. So we have sprout runner on second. What do you think of that? You think that's going to catch some traction?
Dave, I'll support it. If you need somebody to get behind sprout runner, I'll get behind that. We'll give it a shot, All
right, but
trial.
Okay, all kidding aside, did you like sprout runner? The sprout runner rule?
Do I like the sprout runner rule? No.
No. Okay, purist.
I don't need it. Yeah. Definitely a purist. I've mentioned that before that I'm a baseball purist.
I know.
Well, and I think
like the sprout runner.
We may have ended up burying the most important of the new rules. The DH is universal now.
That is a rule that I can get behind.
Pitchers no longer bat anywhere in the league.
You and we're like past like ships in the night. Like we're not syncing up, man, because I don't like DH.
Yeah, I like DH.
You like the offense.
I really do. I don't like the automatic out pitcher. I don't like the, I don't like the automatic sacrifice. You don't like the strategy,
the double switch, the.
Do you want a whole episode on this conversation? Because this could probably take a whole episode.
What do I care, dude? Like this is our show. I'm not, the Nielsen ratings are down. Like we'll try anything. We're Armatron rated number 1.
The person who I think benefits the most from this is Joe Girardi because it didn't seem like he had any idea how to manage outside of the American League. Joe Girardi and every 40-year-old hitter.
But this was
can't field anymore, but can still hit the ball.
This was the whole like. I always took pride in being a National League fan because I'm like, we're the senior circuit. We play real baseball. We don't have like a DH. You can't just set it and forget it and then sit back and chew on sunflower seeds all afternoon. You actually have to manage in our league. And I felt it gave us an advantage in the postseason when we had to play an American League team and they had to come here. And like one of their best hitters had to always sit. I don't know. I liked having the DH. Or not having the DH, I should say.
Gene, your thoughts?
Well, I am a longtime purist, except currently the way the Phillies are constructed with some of their contracts, if they don't have a DH in place, we might have some very old players who have no place to play.
But we are not built for a DH. We are not built for a DH this season.
No, not this season. But down the road,
like Didi
Gregorius maximize JT Realmuto's 5 years. I think you're going to need him to DH. It could work out as long as you can keep Realmuto in the lineup even when he's not catching, and maybe you have a comparable defensive replacement. That could be sort of a net positive. They really need to bring in another bat to sort of rotate around in this cycle, and preferably somebody that can play a couple of positions.
I'm trying to think because I'm not really sure that the success, like the really successful DHs are like, no tread left on the tire players. I mean,
it's guys like Nelson Cruz who do it for a decade, who can't.
Right. Or like Big Papi, who like made an entire career out of it.
Again, a guy who really didn't have a position in the field.
Like, just think, if we had a DH, like, if the DH rule was last year, like, Brad Miller probably would have been our DH more often than not, or Bohm, or
Would you rather have a guy who is a professional DH, or would you rather use it
Yes.
to keep more guys in the lineup? And
no, honestly, to be serious and win, I think I would like a professional DH.
There are not a lot of them. Would you like be like all in on like a guy like Nelson Cruz right now, or would you want to spend that money?
No, no. There's too many actual like defensive holes on the Phillies to worry about DH at this point. We're not at that point. But to get over the hump, I think you need a monster DH bat. Like, that's like another one where you need a big bat. It's like corner infield.
Come into the league in like 2010. Maybe Ryan Howard gets a longer career. Maybe he makes the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying, though. We look at the Bryce Harper contract. Let's bring it back to Philadelphia, of course. And how many more years in the field can you see Bryce Harper manning right field, realistically speaking? That contract
here's a good
it's
one.
taking him into what age season? How many years into their contract is he going to be off the field, and is he going to be slotted into basically our automatic DH?
Yeah, a friend of the show, Tim, writes, I used to believe there shouldn't be a manager of the year in the AL. I now believe there shouldn't be a manager of the year.
There's not really a reason to have one. There could be a pitching coach of the year. There could be a hitting coach of the year.
Well, if you want to debate, like, there's talk now, I don't know, is this official or unofficial that in 2023 there will be no more shift?
I know that there was talk. I don't know if that's been adopted or not.
Okay, I think it's still in conversation. Mr. Baseball Purist, Nico, how do you feel about banning the shift?
Oh, I don't know, because I do kind of like the shift.
You like the shift?
Yeah, I do a little bit.
Okay, what about the shift?
I got to be honest with you. I definitely
wasn't.
I know. I wasn't prepared to debate tonight. Sorry, guys. I was just prepared to talk nice a little bit.
No, let's get into it. We need some conflict on this show.
All right. Well, here's my conflict, my inner conflict, okay? Yeah, I am a baseball purist. I don't think there should be a clock. I don't want Roboumps. I do like the DH, though. I do like the DH, okay? So I guess there's a lot of things. I guess I'm not a baseball purist, guys. I take my hat off, and I admit maybe I'm not a baseball purist. Maybe there are some things about the modern game that I am willing to adopt because I have to. Do I have a choice? No. But yeah, I think the shift, to go along with you, Dave, plays into the strategy of the game, and I do think it's interesting, and it keeps the game interesting. It sucks when your player's hitting into the shift, and it sucks when the shift works against you, but when the shift works to your benefit, obviously.
Yeah, here's my take on it.
Behold.
My whole take on it is every single league, when you look around, NFL, NBA, NHL, they're all changing rules to help promote offense, to help make the game more fun to watch. So when we talk about banning the shift, bigger bases, like reducing the spin rate on pitches, it's all about eliminating the strikeout home run philosophy of baseball that's kind of prevailed over the last 7 or 8 years, and returning it to like more of like the kind of game that we used to watch when we were kids, and it wasn't so like, I don't know, 3 true outcomes. So like I've seen these like tweets where it's like, oh, you're banning the shift. Imagine if a quarterback couldn't make a pass to defeat a too high safety set, and so you ban the set. Well, let's not pretend that the NFL didn't change about 50 rules to kind of hamper the defense overall and benefit quarterbacks. So it's the same thing here. I mean, like, I think it's, I want to see, like, look, if you hit a line drive, it's like a left-handed defense mechanism, I think, that I have, being a left-handed person. It's like, why do people hate left-handed people so much? Because the shift really, really hampers lefty hitters. And I just think, like, if it's a hit to right field, it should be a hit to left field. And I hate it. I hate seeing like a true single just falling at like just a right at a guy in shallow right field. That's my take.
Would you prefer that there was more like a modified shift, like you can sort of adapt towards, but not the extreme shift that we've seen sort of?
No, I think they should add a line to the field, like add a line behind second base.
Straight up center field.
You can't
and you
cross
can't have
that
more
line.
than one.
Second baseman can't cross it.
Second base, you stay to this side. Yep.
2 defenders on each side. That's it.
So you could move that shortstop maybe like right to the line, but not.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So you could still do like a modified shift.
What color will the line be? Will it remain white?
I think it should be yellow, just to go along with like all modern weird lines.
See, that's where my purist blood kicks back in. I think that line should be white.
The shift line.
The shift line.
Well, maybe they could just put it on TV and like you don't even see it when you're looking at the field.
Yeah, hologram, like the first down line.
Yeah.
In NFL. Yep.
Yeah.
Well, and maybe what they really could do is they make it extra thick, and then you can put an ad right down the middle of the field.
And it could change every inning.
It could be like brought to you by Viagra.
Something like that.
A long straight line brought to you by Viagra.
A thick white shaft with Viagra written on it. Gene, is that what you're requesting? This is taking a turn.
The truth is nowadays it's probably going to be brought to you by like Under Armour or something, because they seem to have a way to sponsor something in every stadium.
All right, but you said you're against Roboumps, though, right, Nico?
I am 100% against Roboumps.
Gene, where are you on Roboumps?
I don't want robots involved in sports at all.
Yeah.
I saw base.
If it's a physical robot,
I played Base Wars. Once you let robots in, they start fighting each other. They start blowing shit up. It's not American.
What if that robot breaks down during the game, needs an update, needs to be rebooted, plug it into its charger. Yeah.
No, I like the sport with the bad calls and all. I know that is the one where I feel like I'm in the extreme minority when I look at social media. People are like, just get it right, get the robot umps in. And it's just like a light in the outfield, strike, ball.
Yeah, no, I don't want a robot ump. I would rather have a literal like trash can or something that is, eliminate catchers and just have
favor the Astros.
Yeah.
Yeah. They can give you a couple tips about how to use a trash can to your benefit.
All right. So we got baseball back. We're immediately thrust into hot stove season.
Yeah.
Always super
fun.
Not
in Philadelphia. It's been like lukewarm stove season.
Hey, look at Dylan Marples. What a signing. Hot stove.
Got upside, man.
Hot stove. He does have upside. Cub all his life. It'll be interesting to see how he pitches in the bank outside of Wrigley.
Yeah, so the signings so far have all been bullpen help. So who did we sign? Familia, Brad Hand.
Mm-hmm. And obviously Cable before the lockout. Right.
So really, I mean, it's definitely an upgrade at the closer position.
Yeah.
I don't know. Do you feel like this is an upgrade over Naris and Bradley from last season?
I think I absolutely never know what we're going to get out of anybody that we ever sign for our bullpen. I have no idea. I don't even want to speculate. After how many years has it been now? Since
Papelbon?
Bullpen. Really? I think so.
I mean, when's the last time we've had and
2012 was probably the last really good bullpen the Phillies had.
Even Knievel's not really like a true closer.
I know.
I mean, he's closed in the past, but not a true closer.
Yeah. So I'm disgusted right now with the state of the Philadelphia Phillies roster. Obviously, the weather could change at any minute. Could be changing right now while we're on the horn. But now,
I've been like drooling over like hoping we would get one of these guys today, so we could celebrate on the show like the day that we got Harper. I should go back and listen to
Like the day we got Harper, like the day we got Danny Briere.
What a memorable day.
Yeah. What a day. Danny.
Gene, did you like our free agent trade acquisition rankings?
I thought that was great. Yeah, I'm sad that I didn't get to participate, so we have to do it again. Not right now.
Yeah, bring up the graphic again. I want to see Andrew Bynum for old time's sake.
I posted it. So who do you want? Like, if you had to, so obviously it's these three guys everyone's looking at. It's Castellanos, Schwarber, and Chris Bryant. Who do you want the most out of there? Like, what would your preference be?
Gene, would you like the honors?
Preference would be Schwarber. I think they're closest to Bryant. If they don't get either of them, then they're going to overpay Castellanos. That seems like, it doesn't take like a tarot deck to show me how the Phillies are going to play this. But honestly, I feel like if you're not going to get Schwarber, you need to pivot, and go and get some starting pitching depth. The story that I don't think people are talking about nearly enough is we are not going to start this season with the rotation anywhere near.
This is Gene's favorite thing to do. He's like, so he totally swings away from the question. Why do you want Schwarber more than anyone?
Yeah,
I think Schwarber's better at playing multiple positions, and I also think he's going to more.
What positions does he play? Right field and catcher.
Well, I think that you could put him at. I think you could possibly spot. He's not going to catch anymore. He hasn't caught in a while. But I think that you could put him at either corner outfield, and I think you could have him at first base.
He's a great catcher option on the show, by the way.
I disagree. I think Chris Bryant would be the most versatile player and the player that we should target. I guess we're like getting close, but Colorado's in the mix too. But I think Chris Bryant.
Why would anybody want to go to Colorado?
Well,
who's not skiing?
Talk about getting your numbers up, playing at Coors Field. Wouldn't you want half of your – if you had the choice of any ballpark to get your numbers up, play half your games at Coors Field. But also, too, Chris Bryant may fill a role in Colorado, whereas if he comes to Philadelphia, he might be asked to fill several roles, super utility, third base, corner outfield. He might even be playing a little bit of center, so –
the way the Phillies are, he might actually call road games that he's not playing yet.
Well, this is hilarious.
Fanatic every now and then. But we did get the old Fanatic back. We have the old Fanatic back.
Thank God we got the real Fanatic back.
That has not been publicized.
Very exciting.
But you're both wrong. Nick Castellanos would be the right play if there was any way we can get him. Although I think he's the least likely that we would be able to get. I think he's the best player out of the three.
Is it because of his age, or is it just because of body of work, what he's done?
No, he's about the same age. I mean, they're all like 30.
I wasn't sure how old he is.
I don't know.
Does Dombrowski really open up the wallet and nab two of those guys? Is it even possible?
Do we even have like positions for two of them to play?
Well, if you're signing a Duba Herrera, retread.
Well, unless you're telling me that Brian is going to play third. Yeah, unless you're telling me Brian's going to play third, and we haven't even gotten to the part where we talk about the Stott Gregorius showdown that's going to happen in spring training, which is definitely going to be the most interesting storyline in the spring, is to watch those two battle it out.
I would love to see Bryson Stott slip in there. And get that
started. I'm gonna throw a comparison to you. If Didi Gregorius wins this spot, it would be comparable to me when Placido Polanco got the opening day start over Chase Utley.
Oh, remember that?
Yeah, remember that? We all freaked the hell out. We basically booed Polanco because he got the start.
But then eventually Polanco moved to third, right?
Yeah,
his giant cranium found a home forever.
God, it was so big. It was like Bond's big.
I don't think it's fair to comment.
And who'd always go
appearance, but that's a hell of a head on that man.
That helmet was specially made. I've never seen anybody else wear that helmet. It was crazy.
And when he would chew gum, his jaws would come out, veins come out of those things. Unbelievable! Wow, this podcast this really went south, didn't it?
We got some memories, man.
We have a human resources issue happening live.
I mean, we had to watch a lot of Plácido Polanco in our lives, like way more than anybody ever needed to.
Alex says if Middleton has a pair, he would sign Chris Bryant and make a big 1-year deal to Correa. Oh, man. That would be crazy.
Middleton dropped his checkbook in the street and you picked it up. Yeah, it sounds like a great idea.
That would be bonkers, though.
Bryce Harper was signing the check.
Hey, listen,
that's what would happen.
Alex, though, I like the way that guy thinks. Though.
Yeah, I like the aggressiveness.
You have to be aggressive, and I think that's why so many Phillies fans, are so frustrated right now. Coming into this podcast, sitting here on the hot stove, you're like, why isn't something happening? And they have the nerve to announce that Odubel Herrera is coming back. Man, when I read that,
They should have just signed him and then waited for a couple months to tell us that he was back.
Yeah, exactly. Slip that thing in. He'll trot him out in May. Nobody will notice.
Yeah, just wait 15 years. We'll be putting him on the Wall of Fame.
I love that Bryce Harper got right in front of a reporter's mic right after that signing. Was like, yeah, I hope we're not done.
Well, look, if Dombrowski, if he's going to come out and say he has authorization to spend up to the luxury tax limit, he has to spend up to the luxury tax limit. I mean, you're the GM. You're going to be evaluated on how this team performs. How are you not going to spend all of the money that you're allocated to spend? Middleton's not going to authorize you to spend the money if he doesn't want you to spend the money. I mean, spend the damn money. Like, spend it smartly, but do what you got to do, like, to get as many wins as humanly possible out of this thing.
Yeah, I mean, I guess partly he's looking at if he really shores up the bullpen, that has been the major contributor to losses in the last 2 years. And you know, if this is 2015, I'm really excited about this bullpen. But I don't know if Hand or Familia is anywhere close to what they were at their peaks. They're both certainly on their way down. They're not rising acquisitions. I mean, I guess it's sort of the state of every offseason that there just aren't a ton of bullpen pieces that you can just collect.
Alex here stumping hard for Correa. Correa and Boris are looking for a 1-year deal because Boris wouldn't get the money. To me, it just makes more sense. We'd have a top 5 lineup in MLB. If they are in fact looking for a 1-year deal, it would be really interesting, and that's a move that would strike fear in the hearts of the NL East for sure. And I just don't think you're going to outpitch teams like the Mets.
You're lagging behind the Mets and the Braves right now.
I don't even know who else. I don't even know who's out there as far as pitchers are concerned. But we need to fix this lineup. Like, we are not, like, we got to mash. If we're going to compete in this division, we're going to mash.
You can't, if you're not going to have the pitcher bat, then you can't be giving away outs. We can't have another, Scotty Jetpack every night going.
You can if you have. I mean, like, if you have a defensive wizard, like, I'm fine with it, but we don't have that either.
Oh yeah, he better save you like 3 runs a game.
Yeah. So I mean, you're gonna. Oh my God, this is like, I don't even know if this is like my nightmare scenario where you're gonna have Stott play short, Gregorius play third, and Bohm is going to be your DH.
Oh God,
I don't want that.
Maybe in AAA.
I mean, we'll see what happens.
We had to re-sign Didi to bring him back, right? I'm surprised that they didn't let him walk. I don't see him being a full-time player by the end of this. You know, his splits are so dramatic. You can't bat him against left-handed pitchers.
Yeah. Where's Tariz right now? Is he still under contract?
Probably at Joe Girardi's house because it feels like, they're always within arm's reach of each other.
They all live in a shed out back in Joe Girardi's backyard.
He's like
Brett Gardner's
he's like
in there.
the Cato
He's shoved
Palin of the
into a
Girardi
bunk.
house.
All right.
Who else has a bunk in the Girardi
Jesus
playhouse?
God.
In his treehouse.
Moving on. Hey, we never got to talk about the Ben Simmons return to Philadelphia.
Do you want to? It didn't turn out very well.
Yeah, man. I wanted to. Oh, man, that smirk that was on his face that they kept kind of cutting to every now and then. That smirk. Oh.
I mean, could not have worked out better for Ben Simmons, right?
Oh, yeah. And you know what? Poor guy and his mental health issues. He deserved to be, he deserved to come out on top.
I don't.
Was he wearing his Louis Vuitton's hockey jersey that night? Is that what I saw?
Yeah, I didn't hear
a rumor that I heard.
Louis Vuittons.
Yeah, you want to hear a rumor I heard?
Vuittons.
It's really hot in that thing, though. Like, it was just like, it made me itch. Like, take that thing off for crying out loud.
That's like a $2,500 sweater.
Good for you.
Yeah. You want to know the
blew
rumor?
$2,500
one in every
on
color.
a hockey sweater.
So here's the rumor that I heard. I heard that it's such like a prominent logo that he wore that to prevent being put on the Jumbotron because they couldn't put some sort of like prominent official logo like that on the Jumbotron. You think that's a bunch of BS?
That's a bunch of horse shit. There's no way that they wouldn't have just taken the fine or whatever. I don't know.
I don't know.
Is that a thing?
It's just what I heard. It's what someone told me. I don't know. Unverified information.
There's no way that Ben Simmons is that like acute. Like nobody.
No, I think it was like some sort of reverse psychology.
Right
like if you're gonna boo me, well, here I am drawing as much attention to me as humanly possible. So here I am. Boo me, boo me, boo me.
I don't know. To be like, don't you think in some kind of way it's maybe the best thing that could have happened to the Sixers?
What, to get our asses handed to us by that team? I mean, if you're not going to blow them out, you don't want to lose a close one. I guess.
Think it's a lot of doubt in a lot of Sixers fans' minds, including myself. I still believe. I still support. I'm just as excited about this team as I was, a couple of weeks ago or a few weeks ago when we signed Harden. But, sow that doubt.
Yeah.
I don't want to see Brooklyn again in the playoffs. I don't.
Yeah, and that's why I don't even want the 1 or the 2 seed at this point. Give me the 3 or the 4.
Yeah. I heard that spin today too. It's just like you don't want to be 1 or 2 seed. You want to be in the fleshy middle of the pack. 3, 4, 5.
Give me the Bulls. Give me
Bulls, Cavs.
Yeah, give me that.
You don't want Nets. You don't want Celtics. You don't want them first round.
Nah,
not at all.
I'm good.
Yeah, I think perhaps that might be playing, but I don't want to lose edge. And this is a really, really crappy comparison, but I'll throw it out there too. Remember how we were all like, oh, the Eagles should rest their starters against Dallas that last game of the season? Yeah, and then the Eagles went down to Tampa Bay first round of the playoffs and got their asses absolutely handed it to them because they took it easy. They took their foot off the gas. They chilled out, did whatever they had to do to stay healthy, lost their edge, and got their asses kicked. So the last thing that I want the Sixers to do, I know that everybody's talking about how they're going to be sporadically resting Embiid now for the next 15 games so that, managing his fatigue levels and all this stuff. I'm really scared that that's going to help, that's going to be a proponent to us losing our edge that we had those first 4 games of Harden. And, we pitter-patter or we sputter into the playoffs. So I just really hope that doesn't happen because right now we need to churn up some chemistry and 2 out of the last 3 games definitely didn't see much.
I don't want Harden and Embiid to be like the basketball version of, and hear me out, Vince Velasquez, where it's like, okay, great. And as soon as one bad thing happens, it's like, forget about it. It's like, this didn't work. This sucks, blah, 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 blah. So like everything's going great. Nets game. And then it was like, ugh. And then this like crazy embattled experience we had against the Magic.
Yeah, but at least we won.
We barely won, and then come home with a Embiid really wanted to show out against the Nuggets last night, and it's like the second game of a back-to-back, which I fucking hate back-to-backs in the NBA. And like it's just like I don't know, man. They just don't look great, right now. But
I feel like there is no need for back-to-backs in the NBA. it's absurd. It's like that is the one league that you really want to avoid those back-to-backs as far as maintaining.
I mean, in my opinion, chop 5 games off the season and just have no back-to-backs. I'm fine with it.
Yeah. And robot refs. And that would be great.
For sure.
And a line.
And put a line down the middle somewhere where you're not allowed to play defense on that side of the court.
Okay, thank you. Thanks for that.
Hey, listen, I'm just trying to
open your minds a little bit, okay? It's modernize the game.
But the game the other night,
that Nets loss was jarring.
Okay, really
crushed the mojo though. That was jarring. That wasn't just losing the game by like 5 or 6 points. Somebody got into foul trouble. A couple defensive breakdowns. That was a wash, and that game legitimately scared me.
Shook me to the core. I still believe it shook me to the core.
Well, it shakes you to the core because you could like the reason why they played so poorly is because they really wanted to play well. So is this the team that doesn't play well when they're angry?
No, I think it's the Philadelphia fandom story. I feel like anytime
there's something that's way, 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 way too hyped.
Hey, speaking of crazy ass Nets, you see Aaron Judge now can't play home games in New York.
He doesn't want to get vaccinated?
They asked him today about his vaccination status, and he said, "I'm really just trying to get to the first game of spring training."
What does Aaron Judge know that the rest of the world doesn't know about?
He's got to do his research, Nico, man. Come on.
Yeah, there just isn't enough.
I got to do my research.
Spell research, Aaron Judge.
Do you think like him and Kyrie have like a group chat that they talk on that they share their research together?
I know Aaron Judge was sitting
behind my shoulder. He'd squash my head like a watermelon. I know. Here I am, flapping my gums. Yeah, I know. He'd shove me in between the space in between his 2 teeth.
Yeah.
He probably told the reporter, "Coronavirus is scared of me. Have you seen my arms?
Scary.
Yeah. Scary.
They can't vaccinate me. I break all the needles."
That was Mike Tyson,
not Aaron Judge. I just did an impression of Aaron Judge that sounded like Mike Tyson. It's scary.
I like how we're making up like Chuck Norris facts about Aaron Judge.
And here
I am commenting on somebody's
Aaron Judge doesn't get coronavirus. Coronavirus gets Aaron Judge.
Nico, joining us
on the show from 3rd grade. It's Nico. Versus Placido Polanco's cranium. Now it's Aaron Judge's teeth, and he has a Mike Tyson lisp.
Did you guys hear
what is with New York and like gap tooth all-stars?
Tooth superheroes.
I love it. What's up, G?
Did you hear Doc Rivers' comments about after the Denver loss the other night?
No, what he said.
How he said his rotations got screwed up because Embiid asked to come out too early.
What?
Yeah, Embiid came out of the first quarter a little earlier than usual, and sat out for 4 minutes due to fatigue.
The guy who shouldn't have been playing that game.
Exactly. Or he shouldn't have played the night before. Or
he shouldn't have played against the Magic.
Why did he play with the Magic, especially since he was traveling too?
Yep.
Right.
Sit that one out and look fancy. Get your hockey jersey on and sit on the bench.
We have like 7 centers. I'm sure we could figure out one of them to play. But I mean, is that what you want to hear from your head coach? We're 15 games from the playoffs, and he can't figure out rotations when one guy needs to. That's the kind of stuff that happens in like CYO ball. Like the one kid's like, "Ow, I've stubbed my toe. I need to come off." Those guys can figure out their rotations. Does he need to Dave, your kids have a CYO coach or whatever. Does Doc need to have a quick refresher course on how to do substitutes?
Let me tell you something. When I coached basketball, the one game I coached, I'll coach 5 kids. I'll coach 10 kids. I don't want any other number of kids. I don't.
So you just run in the first group, run out the second group.
I say we're doing a line change. Go, everyone out. Everyone out. Every 4 minutes. Go, everyone out.
Speaking as a guy who was the 12th man on the bench of a 7th grade CYO basketball team, I was number 12. It was me and Colin Huck at the end of that bench, killing it. 11 and 12.
Nice, holding it down.
Oh, you never saw daylight down there.
Nico,
Half
was it
the
because
time I
you
didn't even
have
have
pump
shorts.
shoes? Did you not have the right sneakers? Did your sneakers pump?
My parents, thankfully, I had very understanding parents who always supported me and enabled me to get the pump sneakers. But
sure as hell didn't
deserve them. That's for sure. But all the way down there at the end of the bench, it is hard to figure out those rotations, especially when you have somebody out. But back to Dave's point, I think he said it underneath one of Gene's comments. DeAndre Jordan's been he's nice. He's nice. We got to give him a start. Let him show out a little bit, you know? So
Yeah.
I really think in retrospect, obviously, it would have been really great and made complete and utter sense if Embiid sat out that Orlando game. Maybe we take the loss down there.
You would have beat the Nuggets.
Fresh legs in Philly against Jokic and the Nuggets. But here we are, dropping 2 of 3. The only win that we get is that limpy win down in Orlando, and look what we're talking about.
Look, it counts
Question
the
marks
same.
everywhere.
It's an Eastern Conference team.
It's a win. It's a win.
I got you.
Orlando was playing Brooklyn tonight. I think Brooklyn was 10-point favorites. So it'll be interesting to see if Brooklyn covered that.
Dude,
How's that Indiana Wyoming game going? You got that on the ticker, Gene?
I do not.
Ooh.
What was the line on
that
one?
ticker, that box
In the background, Gene, looks like it's about to tip over.
I don't know if you guys have noticed, but I've got an episode of Hoarders going on back here.
Yeah.
One of these days you're just not gonna see.
We're gonna lift one of those boxes. There's gonna be a cat skeleton.
Be my hands hanging on a box.
I thought those were.
Now, Gene, I thought those were library books that you were waiting to take back. Those library books.
No. Most of those are actually just empty boxes.
Okay, that game just started, by the way. So
the Indiana game?
You didn't miss too much of it. Personally, I thought Indiana had a good showing in that Big Ten tournament. I think it's sort of criminal that they're playing a play-in game, but what do I know? I'm not.
Dave, are you excited for the University of Delaware to take down Villanova?
No, I'm not. I want Villanova to crush them, especially since
is the line 25 on that game? I have no idea. Will Nova have scored 80 points in the first half? Is I think the real.
Well, I certainly did not want University of Delaware to defeat my good friend Zach Spiker and his Drexel Dragons. So I was a little upset about that. So I hope they get their comeuppance against Nova.
I am of the opinion that the University of Delaware should just send a letter to Pittsburgh that says, "Thanks for the invitation. We're good. We're going to save the gas money on the bus."
That's Jameer Nelson Jr.
Jameer Nelson Jr. Yeah.
Is
it too late for me to fill out a bracket?
No, it doesn't start till Thursday, man.
Thursday.
That's right.
You got like a whole
You got to
day.
fill out a bracket. Gene, you fill out a bracket?
300 playing games now.
No, I started one this afternoon though, and I read one of my celebrity favorite brackets today, and I'm super psyched because we have the same champ.
Oh, really? Who do you have?
Same team I've always got, Pinky. It's the Gonzaga Bulldogs.
Oh, of course, I should have known.
But you know who agrees with me? Former President Barack Obama.
Obama coming up. And
how's he feeling these days,
man? Did you guys talk? How's he feeling these days? I know he came down with the COVIDs.
I mean, good enough to put together a bracket, so
Yeah, he said he was feeling
all right. Scratchy throat.
Wow, take the one overall seed and then have him win the championship. There's a lot of imagination going on there.
Hey,
every year I
fill out the bracket and I get annoyed. I get annoyed by people who shorten Cincinnati to Cincy.
In a bracket. Is there any other
bracket abbreviations that just get under your skin?
When people put X for Xavier, that annoys me.
Yeah, come on. Give me something. Dave, your thoughts?
Xavier always wins 2 rounds and then goes out in a blowout. That's you can always mark that down.
Get out of here.
I don't know.
All right, thanks.
That was all I had prepared.
I got Kansas. I'm taking Kansas this year.
How deep does the Ivy League school go? I'm not even sure who the Ivy League school is this year.
It's Princeton. No, it's Yale. Yale won.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's go,
Kansas winning the
Yale.
tournament, but Michigan behind Juwan Howard winning a street fight outside the arena. I'll take that. All right.
See, Phil Martelli got some coaching action there while he was suspended.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Got him still alive.
He'll never die.
Yeah, never die.
It's too bad our school never got to
Phil
got to
Martelli
the big
went out and
dance.
coached Michigan for a couple games?
Yeah. Yeah.
They just call Phil and be like, hey, man.
Phil,
Come
what
on
are you
out.
doing?
He wasn't like in Michigan, was he? Wasn't he just at home?
No, he's an assistant coach for the Michigan Wolverines.
Oh. Why would he want to be an assistant coach when he could be, a head coach?
Can he be a head coach?
Oh, I don't
Nico,
know.
is everything all right over there? Got some police action going on outside? Oh.
No, it's Sonic the Hedgehog.
A little toy.
I was like, oh man, cops are pulling up to Nico's house.
45, 50 minutes into an episode, I need something to fidget with.
Yeah, I hear you. All right, what about the Birds? Can we talk some football?
Yeah.
I'm actually kind of excited about football.
Very excited about that Eagles signing.
I'm super excited that Tom Brady is back. Man, did I miss him.
What a pain in the ass.
Hassan Reddick coming home. Temple Owl.
So I was explaining to my daughter about Tom Brady retiring.
Okay.
And then coming back and
everything that went around. Do you know what her reaction was? Her innocent 5.5, almost 6-year-old reaction. She goes, "Well, that's annoying."
Oh my God. That was my wife's reaction
yes.
too. She was like, "He's so annoying."
So annoying. That was it. Well, that's annoying. Like, yes.
Well, I mean, if you had to live with Gisele Bundchen, wouldn't you want to rather get your head kicked in? Because that's my takeaway.
And
do you think he wanted Tampa Bay? Do you think he wanted Tampa Bay to find a quarterback solution while he was gone?
I assume he was hoping for
one, but he's entering into a much more uncertain situation into Tampa Bay now, going into the season than he ever has before.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense. I think it's gonna be a really bad move for him.
Now, did Gronk retire after?
I was bidding on that final touchdown ball. I was in at $499.99, and I lost.
You got to clear out one of those boxes behind you, Gene. But you get that money hidden in there.
One of them is just all that cash.
Did a box fall on you before you could get the winning bid in on time?
Right. Yeah.
Hey, how about our good friend Carson Wentz?
I mean, that
takes stones to come back to the NFC East.
Well, he doesn't have much of a choice.
His agent was like, "Are you sure? Are you really sure about this?
Like, wouldn't
he have a no trade clause? Like he's got no say in it."
Yeah, I guess that's true. I mean, he's
going from the frying pan to the fire. And coming back east.
This is gonna be game's gonna be appointment television. Like circle that one on your calendar.
And I guarantee he's not going to be sitting on the bench in a fluffy hockey jersey. That's for sure. Unless somebody knocks his teeth in before he gets there. What's the schedule like? When do the
I'll look it
Commandos?
Up.
When did the Commandos come to?
I bet it's like super late in the season. It'll probably be
Commandos in their high school copybook ribbon art.
I just started remembering to call them the football team. They are never going to be the Commanders. It's just never going to be a thing.
I thought the football team. I thought the Washington football.
Nah, it's all to be announced. There's no.
Okay,
there's no dates.
Slated them up yet.
They love to open with the Eagles playing Washington, so I would love to stick that like 1 o'clock Sunday in DC.
And Hassan Reddick coming off the edge. Oh, I love that signing. I think that's such a fantastic signing.
I love it even more if you then go and get a real big defensive end in the draft.
What, like another one?
Well, I mean, Hassan Reddick's more of like a joker. Like he might play some actual linebacker too.
But only when we go 4-3, right?
Yeah. But Gannon scheme's going to have him hybrid. So he's going to be coming off the edge. He's going to be coming off the strong side. So,
yeah, I mean, like, Gannon doesn't have a scheme, so probably. It doesn't matter anyway.
Because he's not going to beat anybody bull rushing. You know what I mean? Like, he's just going to get off the line faster than those those tanks in Washington.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
The tank commanders. I still think the Eagles have work to do, though. I don't feel like they're done.
Yeah.
And if I have,
that's
I
what
mean,
to do in the
they're
draft.
still talking about Deshaun Watson.
No,
Can Carolina just sign him so I don't have to hear about that anymore?
No, he said I think he'll only go to Carolina or New Orleans, right, at this point?
And they're also rumoring the Falcons to be a deep sleeper. So clearly we see which division he wants to play in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why would Atlanta want to sign him? Are they done with? I thought they had a quarterback.
Well, yeah, they've got Matt Ryan,
but
I don't know. It's not into having low character dudes on the team anyway. Like it's just.
Yeah,
I don't want
a good look.
He can stay. I don't want him in the NFC personally.
Were you guys slightly relieved that Russell Wilson
signed with Denver
instead of even
perhaps like coming or engaging serious talks with Philadelphia to ruffle all of the Jalen Hurts potential chemistry that we have? Are you kind of glad that we're not going after one of those guys anymore?
The best thing about that to me is that Russell Wilson isn't in the NFC anymore.
Yeah,
and we don't have to.
But I'm just relieved. I'm kind of relieved that it seems like that they've committed fully now to Jalen Hurts. I'm not 100% believing that they've done it, but it seems like that's the path that we're going on. I'm kind of relieved by it.
I mean, if you don't have a guaranteed thing, I would rather have Jalen Hurts play okay on a rookie deal. You know what I mean? Like but you've got to use that money to bolster other spots. You can't just be like, I got a cheap quarterback. I'm not going to spend the money anywhere else. That's how 2017 worked out. We had Nick Foles and Carson Wentz on real cheap deals. So you could spend a whole lot of money other places. Spend it on the offensive line. Spend it on the defensive backs. Spend it on the defensive line. Spend it on a receiver. But, yeah, I don't know that I'm ready to pay Jalen Hurts like franchise quarterback money. I think you try to ride him until it's time for his deal to come up, and then you go and make a move then.
If he takes you to the NFC Championship
next year, if we build the draft and we build around him, he takes you to the NFC Championship, you're not going to go and pay that guy?
Then he's played up to a contract. I just don't know. Right now, sitting here, I don't know that he's going to do that. But I'm more comfortable going into the year with a combination of Hurts and Minshew than I would be Mitch Trubisky.
I just get annoyed by the fact
that it's constantly overlooked that Jalen Hurts was our starting quarterback this past year. We did get to the playoffs. He is only 23, second year at the helm. He's done all these things so far, and he's still getting no love, no future as a starting quarterback in the NFL.
Yeah, because we looked at the season in the context of this season, and we played really horrible teams down the stretch that all had their quarterbacks injured. They had COVID issues. It was just picking up scraps, stumble in the playoffs. Really poor showing in the playoffs, by the way. Doesn't really have the arm, can't really locate the deep ball. Great guy, just not the guy. And I've seen these other teams like the Broncos pick up a veteran quarterback and win the Super Bowl. The Bucs pick up a veteran quarterback and win the Super Bowl. And we had an opportunity to pick up a proven veteran quarterback that really can cover up a lot of gaps with their ability. And it seemed like we weren't even in the mix for it. So,
would you have given up as much as Denver gave up for Russell Wilson? You could have. You would have. You had the draft capital, but
I guess I would have. I don't know.
So how did we get out of Russell Wilson then? Is it because he just simply didn't want to play here?
Yeah.
Is it that simple?
I think so. I think Russell Wilson didn't want to play here. I think we probably would have been in on Deshaun Watson if he wanted to come here. Thankfully, he didn't. I think our ownership and leadership group is just as hungry for wins as people in Kansas City and people in Dallas, and they would marginalize their fan base for a chance at wins also. So I just think it's like we got saved by the criminals that we were hoping to not sign anyway, and they did us the favor of not wanting to come here.
I mean, it sounds like speaking of people that have.
That's a pretty negative outlook on it, huh?
Yeah, man.
No, but
It's a good point though. No fluff.
Yeah. Straight talk.
We apparently were pretty much close to trading for Calvin Ridley before he got suspended for being on his DraftKings app.
Yeah, that's crazy shit. That is so crazy because you could literally just go, like, hand the phone to your wife or whatever, your girlfriend, and be like, "Hey, place this bet." I don't understand why you have to do it yourself.
Like, that's the thing that I don't really understand is because, like, all of these guys have friends, you know?
The entourage.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Yeah, man, I'll place your bets. I'll just follow you around all day. What do you want? Oh. 6
yeah, just give me
7.
You
got it.
2 and 2.
Just Venmo me that.
You know, and they always said that this is one of the reasons why the NFL was so against, legal betting. But I guess they're okay with it for the ad revenue.
Pete Rose should be in the Hall of Fame.
Pete Rose.
Pete Rose. All right.
Pete
What else?
Rose.
Anything else before we wrap this puppy up?
The Flyers might be the worst hockey team in the history of hockey.
Listen,
think
we're not
they
talking
need
about
to-
the Flyers.
Oh, I'm talking the Flyers.
We're not talking about the Flyers. You can read about the Flyers in the show notes.
We already mentioned the Flyers actually earlier on in the episode with the regaled signing of Danny Briere.
So we did cover all 4 major sports.
They've been
I just think of my life as before the Danny Briere signing and after the Danny Briere signing.
BDA. BDB.
BDB. All right, that's all the time we have for today. We'll be back in 2 weeks. Back on Tuesday at 9:15. We'll be talking what we got. March Madness going on. Spring training will be kicked off.
Yeah, we'll be
Sixers
like 2 weeks to baseball starting, man.
What's
I
that?
just received
We're
word
like
that
2 weeks till
Between
baseball
Aaron
starts.
Judge's teeth will be joining. Yes.
Nico will try to throw a fastball between Aaron Judge's teeth. So
Nico's going to be joining us from the space between Aaron Judge's teeth.
So join us in a couple of weeks. If you haven't done so already, please remember to rate, review, and subscribe to the show on iTunes or wherever you get your podcast. Also, check us out on social media, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Just search Podadelphia. If you have any more time in your podcast listening day, be sure to check out the Whip Around for all the week's weird news. Also, check out the Painted Lines on YouTube for your wall-to-wall Philly sports coverage. Did I get it all? All right. Until we meet again, everybody, have a great day at work. We are out of here.